Today, we're learning about science and space through the movement of dance with our friend Darcy. Today, we're learning all about asteroids and comets. Asteroids and comets are space rocks that orbit our sun. They're leftovers from the formation of our solar system 4.5 billion years ago. The main difference between them is their composition. That's what they're made of. Asteroids are made up of metals and rocky material. They formed close to the sun in the main asteroid belt, where it was too warm for ice to remain solid. This is located between Mars and Jupiter. Comets were formed further away from the sun, where the ice would not melt. They usually originate from a disc-shaped band of icy objects known as the Kuiper Belt beyond Neptune's orbit, or the Oort cloud out at the far reaches of our solar system. They are mostly composed of rock, ice and dust, so are sometimes called dirty snowballs. You can tell when it's a comet because they have a tail, and these tails can stretch for millions of miles. So let's have a go at making our own comet. To make our comet, we're going to need a few things. You'll need a lollipop stick, a pencil, some plasticine or blue tack, some tissue paper, and a pipe cleaner or anything similar that you might have at home. To begin our comet, we need to make the nucleus. This is the main part of a comet, and it consists of rock, ice, frozen gases and dust. To make this, we're simply going to draw a circle onto the top part of our lollipop stick. The next thing we need to do is make the coma. Now the coma forms when a comet gets closer to the sun and starts to heat up. At this point, those frozen solid gases start to melt. But we can't have liquid water in space, so they go straight from a solid to a gas. And this process is called sublimation. So to make our haze of cloud, of dust and gas, we're going to get our plasticine or blue tack and wrap that around our nucleus to make our ball of our coma, like this. Next up, we need to make our comet's tail. But did you know that a comet has two tails, a dust tail and a gas tail? And these tails are created as that comet gets even warmer and all of that dust and gas is pushed back to form the two tails. But a comet's tail always faces away from the sun. And that's because the sun creates something called solar wind. And that gets pushed out in all directions. So no matter where the comet is, its tail will always be pushed away from the sun. So to create our dust tail, we're going to use our tissue paper and we're going to stick that straight into the back of our nucleus. And finally, we need to add our gas tail. Now the gas tail is a little harder to see and isn't white like our dust tail. So today, I'm going to pop in a purple gas tail. We're going to sit this just above our dust tail to finish off our comet. So now you've got your own comet, but did you know that you can actually see some comets from right here on planet Earth? One of the most famous comets is Halley's Comet, which returns to Earth's vicinity every 75 years. The last time it was here was in 1986, and it's projected to return in 2061. Comets can cause meteor showers when they pass by Earth. Dust and other debris from them burn up in the Earth's atmosphere, creating meteors. But meteors can also come from asteroids. Sometimes one asteroid can smash into another one. This can cause small pieces of the asteroid to break off, and those pieces are called meteoroids. When meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere, they are meteors, and when the meteor hits the ground, it becomes a meteorite. We have some meteorites here at the National Space Centre. The best way to find a meteorite is with a magnet, and that's because they contain metal. Now they may look a little bit darker on the outside, and that would be from when they get burnt up in Earth's atmosphere on their way down to the ground. So maybe one day you'll find a meteorite. I'd go and check your back garden. So whilst we're waiting for Halley's Comet to pay us a visit, let's turn our knowledge of asteroids and comets into dance with Darcy. So make sure you're all warmed up and have plenty of space to move around.
My name is Darcy and I'm from Moving Together Dance Company. Today, while we look at asteroids and comets, we're going to be focusing on how unpredictable asteroids are. And we're going to be using that element of chance in deciding what movements we're going to create and do. So to join in today, we are going to get creative and you're going to need a pen or a pencil, some post-it notes or some little bits of paper, and a dice. So, for our activity today, we're thinking of lots of different action words. Now, what I mean by action words, we have some examples here on the board. So, our Space Cadets came up with some great ones, and they were reach, run, balance, roll, stomp, and hop. I thought of some others, just in case you would prefer to use some of these. We've got curve, jump, gallop, drop, bend, turn, freeze, leap, float, and kick. You might be able to think of some for yourself. So, with these words today, what we're going to do is we're going to think about what the words make us want to do with our bodies. So, for example, for reach, I think straight away, I'd think about reaching with an arm. I might reach up, I might reach down. You might use both arms. But how about reaching with a different body part? Maybe you could reach with your leg. Maybe you could reach with your knee. Have a little think about all the different body parts you could reach with. Moving on to run. This is quite self-explanatory. You might just want to think about how you can travel as fast as you can. It might be that you choose one little bit of a run. Maybe it's that you're just doing the arms. Maybe it's that you've got the space to have a little run around in a circle. Again, it's up to you. We then have balance. Think about all the ways in which you can balance. You can balance on one leg. You can balance with that leg out to the side, behind, hold on to it, okay? You don't have to balance just on one leg. Think about all the different balances you could do. Maybe, still sort of completely grounded, you might want to try and tilt a little bit to the side using your head. You might want to tilt forwards and sort of balance in that way. There's lots of different ways we can balance. You can balance on the floor, have a little think, and play for yourself. Our next word, roll. Again, so many different rolls. I'm sure the first thing you think of doing is a forward roll, a roly-poly, a sausage roll on the floor. But you can also have a bit of a roll with your hands. You can have a bit of a roll coming upwards. You can roll your head, roll your shoulders. There's so many different ways in which we can roll. Stomp. Again, quite self-explanatory. Maybe this is something you want to do with your feet. Maybe this is something you want to do with your hands. Maybe you could get down on the floor and stomp with your hands, stomp with your elbows. Think about all the different ways in which you can stomp. And lastly today, we've got hop as one of our main words. So hop, once again, we're thinking about hopping on one leg. But again, there might be loads of different ways you can hop. Think about, can we hop with our hands? Can we hop with our head? It's quite difficult, but have a little think. So, these are the main words that I'm going to be using today. If you would like to use any of these extra words or some words of your own, that is also completely fine. Okay, so you at home are going to choose 6 words to use for your activity. I've chosen the same 6 as our Space Cadets, but you can choose whichever action words you would like to do. Once you've chosen your words, I would like you to pick a number for each word. It doesn't matter what number is which. So for example, balance, I'm going to put as number 1. Roll, I'm going to put as number 2. Hop is going to be my number 3. Reach, 4. Run, 5. And that leaves stomp to be 6. Once you've chosen which number goes with which word, it's time to introduce our dice. So this is where our element of chance comes in, because the dice is going to decide the order of your movements. So I'm going to roll my dice and see what number comes up. So I got number 4, which means, what's number 4? Reach is going to be my first move. So I'm going to put 4, reach over here. Then I'm going to roll my dice again. And I got a 6. So 6 is stomp, which is my second movement in my mini routine. So you just need to keep doing this, keep rolling your dice until all of your numbers, all of your moves are in a lovely big order. So once you've finished rolling your dice, you should have a lovely long list, and that is going to be your routine. Your routine can be as long as you like, and it just depends on how many times you roll your dice. As you can see, I rolled my dice about 8 times to get about 8 moves. So I had reach come up twice because I rolled 2 4s, and I had stomp come up twice because I rolled 2 6s. It's completely up to you how long you want your routine to be. Okay, so now you've got your routine written out in front of you, I would like you to use your routine as a set of instructions, and you're just going to follow them. Remember all of the different things you can do with all of your words. I'll give you an example and I'm going to have a go at mine. So mine starts off with a reach. I'm going to reach with my arm. Then I've got a stomp. I'm going to do a big stomp with my foot. Then I've got a balance. Then I've got a hop. Then I'm going to run with my arms. Then I've got another reach, and this time I'm going to reach with a leg. Then I've got a roll. I'm going to roll with my arms. And I'm going to finish with a different kind of stomp. I'm going to stomp with my hand. Okay, I'm going to try that again. Are you ready? So I reach, I stomp, I balance, I hop, I run, I reach, I roll, I stomp. Fantastic. Now I'd like you guys to have a go at yours at home. So the random order of your movements mirrors the random movement of the asteroids within the asteroid belt. Our space cadets had a little go at doing their random order of movements wearing motion trackers. Let's have a little look at how they got on. We'd love to see your random routines at home, so please do share with us how you got on.
Yes, Darcy, we'd love to see your dances. And don't forget to join us next week when we'll be learning all about stars. See you then.